You know, our relationship with code is changing in a big way. We're moving away from the old grind of typing out every single line, every single semicolon, and we're stepping into a new role, a much bigger one, becoming the creative directors for our software.
I mean, think about it. What if building amazing software was less like being a bricklayer and more like being the conductor of a world-class orchestra? You just describe the masterpiece you want to create, and this incredibly intelligent partner, well, it handles all the complex parts for you. That's the powerful future we're diving into today.
And to really get our heads around this huge shift, we're going to lean on a pioneer who's been at the forefront of it for years, Elliott. This is a guy who's worked on generative AI at Adobe and even created a new language for AI called SudoLang. He's not just predicting the future, he's been living in it.
And this quote right here, this is the heart of the whole revolution. See, Eric's vision isn't about getting rid of developers. It's about elevating them. It's about shifting our focus from the nitty-gritty how to the big picture what and why. But for that to even be possible, we've got to look under the hood and figure out how in the world an AI can understand what we want in the first place.
It turns out this whole thing hinges on a major breakthrough in how machines understand language. They don't just see words anymore, they get the meaning behind them. And it all works because of a kind of secret hidden map inside the AI.
That is the million-dollar question, right? A machine just sees ones and zeros. So how does it go from raw data to understanding the nuance in a sentence or the logic in a program? Well, the secret has a name: embeddings.
The best way to think about an embedding is like a GPS coordinate, but for an idea. Instead of a map of streets and cities, the AI has a map of meaning. So on this map, words like puppy and dog are super close neighbors. But puppy and, say, volcano, they're on totally opposite sides of the globe. It's all about how close ideas are to each other.
And it all works in a few simple steps. First, during its training, the AI basically sculpts this giant map by reading, well, pretty much the entire internet. Then, when you give it a prompt, your words get turned into a specific coordinate on that map. And finally, that coordinate lights up an entire region, activating all the related concepts and telling the AI how to respond. It's kind of brilliant.
Now, here's where it gets wild. We're not talking about a simple 2- or 3-dimensional map that you can look at. A single embedding for a model like GPT-3 has, get this, over 12,000 dimensions. Each one of those dimensions captures some tiny little aspect of meaning, creating a map so detailed, so complex, it can actually hold the richness of human language.
So because AI can understand our intent so well, it can now take a much more active role. This isn't just about getting a little help here and there. Nope. This is a completely new way of working, and it's called AI-driven development.
Yeah, AI-driven development, or AIDD for short. In this new world, you're the architect. You design the blueprint, you set the grand vision. And then, the AI, it acts as your lead engineer, doing all the heavy lifting and writing the vast majority of the actual code.
And let's be really clear here. This is a massive leap from what most of us are used to. AI assistance, like code autocomplete, that's like having a helpful co-pilot. But AI-driven development, that's more like telling your self-driving car where you want to go and then letting it handle the whole trip. You're still in charge, but you're not the one gripping the steering wheel anymore.
And the results? They are absolutely staggering. We've seen that AI-assisted developers are maybe twice as fast, which is great. But the teams who have gone all in on AI-driven methods, they are reporting productivity gains of 10 times, or even more. This isn't a small step up, it's a giant leap.
Okay, but if you're going to be the director, you need a way to give clear directions, right? Just talking in vague, everyday language isn't going to cut it. You need something that's structured, but also intuitive. And that's exactly the problem that Eric Elliott's creation, SudoLang, was built to solve. SudoLang is basically a special kind of pseudocode that AI models can actually run. It blends the simplicity of plain English with the clear logic of programming. It's the perfect bridge, letting you give really precise instructions without ever having to worry about all the tedious syntax and semicolons. Its features are just tailor-made for this new reality. You can define rules in plain English. You focus on the what, not the how. You can even set up simple slash commands for chats. And maybe the best part? There's no complex setup. The AI already gets SudoLang right out of the box from its training data. I mean, just look at how simple this is. It looks like a set of structured notes, right? In just a couple of lines, we've defined all the possible states for a virtual pet and given the AI one crystal clear rule.
act like a puppy. That's it. That's all the AI needs. It's readable, it's direct, and it is incredibly powerful.
So let's zoom out. What does all of this really mean for the future of programming and for all of us who build things? Well, we are staring down a fundamental change in what skills are actually the most valuable.
And this really brings us to the main takeaway of this whole thing. The game is changing. It's shifting away from the mechanical skill of just writing code to the creative skill of guiding these intelligent agents. Your value isn't just in how well you know the syntax anymore, it's in your ideas, your ability to solve problems, and your vision.
This whole shift was perfectly summed up by one developer who said, "My skills no longer matter, my creativity does." And that's a future that is, both a little scary and incredibly exciting at the same time. It challenges every single one of us to rethink what it means to be a creator in a world where our main partner is an AI.